have a conversation. So, it is now January 19th, 2025, and it is like 2 o'clock in the morning. It's Sunday. I fell asleep Saturday at 5:30 p.m. And I woke up at 9:40, and now I can't go back to sleep. So, my sleep schedule has been so messed up for a while. It's been so messed up for a while now, but I've noticed in the last, like, oh my God, 2 months, that just hit me. I didn't even realize it. A lot has happened in the last 2 months, in the last 11 months, but sorry. Wow. Yeah, I can't wrap my head over. Yesterday was 18th. No wonder. Okay, hang on. So I haven't really tattooed in a while. And, I was posting a lot on TikTok where I was posting all my videos and things like that. It was just easy. It was just easy to do it. And then I would take those and I would post it to the other platforms or whatever, right? But you can't really solely bank on just one thing. You can't even rely on social media to be here forever. So it's just now, it's like trying to find different ways and things. But coming to the realization that it's been 2 months full of just crazy. A lot has happened in the last 2 months, like I was saying, and I'm still processing things. It's going to be a while to process a major life change, right? Or life changes. And finding a new normal, because it's going to be a new normal. It's not going to be the same. So this is just going to be really interesting. I tattooed on Friday for the first time in a few months, I guess. Yeah, it's been a few months. And I tattooed 6 people. And it took me 6 hours. 6 hours and 30 minutes. And it was so fun. It was so relaxing. And I just was bam, 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 bam. I just had to keep going. I just had to keep going. And I'm so blessed for the opportunity and, thankful that they wanted to do this. And it not only is going to help them with their healing process of their grief and everything, but it's helping me through mine as well. So that was like a big thing. So it was like, thank you for helping me pull myself out of my funk a little bit, and getting me back into what I really need to be doing. And it was me too. I had to pull myself. I have anxieties and things like that, but it's when you're actually like in it, it's completely different, and you're doing it, and it's progressing, and you just want to keep going. And that is such a good feeling. And by the end of it, I was just completely wiped and wore out. I came upstairs, I let my dog out, and then I just, did my thing or whatever I did, and I crawled into bed and I was zoned out. I ended up waking up to my alarm. Not really sure why my alarm was going off. I mean, I guess other than my phone. I'm so sorry. My phone goes into like automatic sleep mode. Because it has a bedtime setting. So it's like basically like do not disturb on my phone, and I guess that's why my alarm was going off. But as soon as my alarm went off, it must have been going off for a while, and then I turned it off and I went back to sleep. I didn't get out of bed until noon. And then a few hours later I ended up falling asleep, and here I am. But I didn't go to bed until almost 3 o'clock in the morning Friday night. So it's just getting back into the habit of that's what's going to happen when I tattoo. I'm going to be up late, and I'm going to have to wake up a little bit early and get my stuff together and just repeat, obviously setting boundaries and making time for rest and things like that to where I don't burn out. But I'm trying to get back into the flow of things, and slowly integrating myself into it is going to be so helpful. And I don't know if you would necessarily say that taking on 6 people is slowly integrating yourself, but it was so much fun, and I don't regret any aspect of it at all. So thank you. So as of the 18th to yesterday, now, since it's in the morning, 2 months ago, my parents were in a traumatic accident on their way home, and it's wintertime, so the roads are horrible, and we don't really know exactly what happened or anything, and I don't want to go into too much detail right now, respecting everything, but I'm an open book, so yeah, and I really don't mind talking about it. It's actually really helpful. But anyways, it's been 2 months, and it's been really, really hard. And everybody's going through their own grieving process because with this traumatic accident, my mom ended up having to get medevaced, and my dad unfortunately did not make it. It's still really surreal and shocking. Like, I still don't really know how to feel about it, and think, especially with knowing things that I know now, that I've known, but it's been confirmed, like, and that's kind of like how this whole thing has been, and it's really, really crazy, because it's so crazy to know like how connected everybody is with their own little world, and you can literally feel the shift in your world when it happens, without actually knowing. It's like you internally know, but there's no verbal confirmation yet. So a lot of that has been happening. If you understand that feeling or know what I mean, it's just insane. It's just been an insane 2 months. And I can replay that whole day, and everything that's transpired over and over and over in my head, and it's not as daily anymore. It's more weekly. It's getting less and less because I feel like I'm just distracting myself. I'm super thankful though for 2024 because I spent a lot of time with my family. I spent a lot of time with my dad, even though there were times where it felt like I didn't see them at all. I felt like I was just, any free time that I had and I wanted to do anything or go anywhere, it was just like I needed to go and be with my family. Whether my family was here at home or It was, going over to my parents' house, hanging out with just my sisters, or hanging out with the whole family, or just my parents. Um, I've always been really close with my family. That's a given. My family's been super close. And we're crazy, we're fun, we're loud, we're silly, like, why wouldn't you want to hang out with those people? Just good people, just genuinely good people to hang around with. And they just speak so much life into you and so much life into each other. And we all have our moments, but still, like, it was awesome. And I'm so thankful for that. And I'm still so thankful for my family and the people that are still around, and the support and everything that the community and friends and loved ones have reached out and given. Because as much as you want to be alone and by yourself, there are times where you really don't want to be alone. You just kind of want to be with someone. And you don't even have to, like, do anything. You don't even have to talk. You just want somebody's company in your presence. And it's nice. It's nice to just sit there, or it's nice to have a long conversation. And whether it's, talking about the hard things, or it's just being silly and goofy and playing, or having really theoretical conversations, like, it's nice to have that human interaction, especially in tough times. I could definitely say that I feel like there's a lot of times I just need to be by myself, and I don't want to be around people. But then I start to realize, like, I do want to be around people. I'm just struggling with asking for help, because I've always struggled with that. Like, and as much as I want to, like, just easily send that text, like, hey, how's it going? I'm thinking about you today. I don't want to be the person that, like, comes around and I'm just always, I don't even know what I was saying. Oh, yeah, I've realized that, like, I do want to be around people. I do want to go out and have fun. I do want to get back into my hobbies and get back into my business and things like that. I'm struggling. I'm struggling so hard, because I'll have my good days and I'll have so much energy and I'll just want to get everything done. And there's so much to always do, especially being a single mom. And I have my kids week on and off. And, like, Friday was a long day. I was supposed to be at work, but I ended up having to take my kid into the doctor's. And then it was like, by the time we got out of the doctor's, he only had like 2 hours left of school. So I had to stick around because I had to wait for him and his brother to get out so I could take them home. And then we had a play date, and that was so much fun. The kids really enjoyed it. And then as by the time that was done and over with, I had to jump into tattooing, and I tattooed for 6.5 hours. And then it was like 3 o'clock, almost 3 o'clock in the morning by the time I actually went and got some sleep, right? And then I just have been exhausted. But I was exhausted all before that because I wasn't sleeping. I was literally waking up at 3:40 every morning, and then my alarm would go off at 5:45, and then it just kept going off after that because I set multiple alarms so I can make sure I'm getting up, especially when the kids are home. I need to make sure they're getting up and we're on a time schedule so they can make the school bus, or if I need to take them and drive them into school or whatever's going on. It's just, yeah. I've noticed that I've fallen out of a routine that I built when I was off, taking time off of work from and trying to process everything, and just trying to incorporate that routine alongside with all these new little factors and adding more to my plate and trying not to burn myself out. but I'd really like to get back on track and slowly start integrating myself into tattooing and drawing and things like that, because my dad was my number one. He pushed me in all the ways throughout my entire life, but when it came to tattooing, it was he was going to make sure that there was that commitment, you know. He really pushed me to continue that, and he helped build the shop along with his friend and my grandpa and another friend. We put all this time and effort into it for my dreams to become a reality. And ever since I, stumbled upon this, it was always pushing me to do better, pushing me to try new things and staying on top of it. Hey, you haven't done it in a while, let's do this. And I remember asking my dad at one point, because I was so burnt out. I was like, Dad, I don't even remember how I made this work, because things just the timing was like off. It just didn't make any sense. Sorry, my hip's hurting. But I asked him, I was like, Dad, I don't know how I did this, like it's not making any sense. And he looks at me and he goes, Devin, you would go to work and then you would go to the tattoo shop right after work, and you'd be there until late at night, and then you'd repeat and do it again. And then on the weekends, you were there for more than 18 hours a day. He's like, you were there all day and every weekend. He's like, that's what you did. That's how you were making it work. Because you lose you lose sight sometimes, and you just need a reality check to pull you back in. And unfortunately, nobody can necessarily motivate you to do those things on your own. You have to do it yourself. You just have to literally rip that Band-Aid off and just do it. And then once you start doing it and you're in the process of it, it's just impeccable. It's beautiful. And you're like, yeah, I got this. And so if I could find that again, that would be great. Because I haven't really had this creative motivation. I haven't felt very motivated to draw. Like, there's a block there. So, and I tried doing other things that were creative to help, but it's not helping. I've been writing a lot more, and I haven't done that in a long time. So that's been nice. But I don't know. I need that creative inspiration, and right now I just don't fully have it. And so doing small, simple things, I think, will help get back into that rhythm. And I know eventually it'll come back, but I just need to keep focusing on my goals. I also think that if I had people to especially hold me accountable for these things, it would be helpful. And not necessarily like having to hound me every single day. Like, oh my gosh, I appreciate the effort and everything, but I don't need a text every single day asking me how I am, or, like, hey, did you do that thing today? Like, at least once a week, maybe. Because honestly, getting that text message every day is not going to be helpful. No. It's going to be like when people are like, I'm so sorry, like, if there's anything that I can do, please reach out. It's like, okay, I appreciate that. Right now, I don't know what I need. Other than I need friends, other than I need somebody to just come and sit with me on the couch and hold my hand or just give me a hug. Like, that's kind of all that I really needed, and still need. But when you don't know the answers to that, how do you respond to people? And then it's like, okay, well, just show up. Just show up at my house. Just hang out with me, kind of thing. And people don't do that. Some people did. But I don't think people take you seriously. It's like, I'm inviting you, kind of thing, I'm not necessarily inviting, you can talk to me, but thinking about it though, ask me in a few months what I need. Is it going to be the same thing? Or, like when you're going through that state of mind, you're not thinking clearly. You may need stuff, but you don't know. You don't know what that is. And people are trying to be genuine and they just don't know what to say. So that's what they say. And that's totally okay. And it's appreciated. But you do get to a point to where it's so overwhelming and you get angry. And I didn't want to get angry. So I just started telling people to show up. So I'm going to try to show up for myself and give myself a lot of space to allow these different emotions and feelings and things come in. It's going to be practice and I'm not going to be perfect at it. And I'm going to allow myself to be kind to myself and give myself some grace when I notice that I'm starting to be too hard on myself or I'm starting to feel burnout. Like, okay, maybe this is time to take a step back. So we're 19 days into the new year and I've already noticed changes in myself from all the stuff that I've already been working on. So now it's trying to maintain the balance of keeping those things that I've been doing in practice, including adding other things into my life again and finding that routine that's going to be helpful not only for me but my family. And having loving people and complement my life is going to be that much more, because there's going to be people that are going to come into your life and they're going to complement your life. There's going to be people who are going to try to complicate your life, but we're not doing that anymore. We're not going to be doing this 1 foot in, 1 foot out kind of thing. We're going to be normal. We're going to be doing our 2 feet in and we're going to do it. We're going to make that decision and we're going to make that decision right. Whether we have to change that path again, we're just going to keep moving forward, because even if we take that step back and just be like, okay, hang on just a second and slow down, we're still going to be moving forward. Just because you have to take a step back, just because you have to pause, doesn't mean you're not moving forward still. It just means that you're like, wait a minute, recenter myself, get back into what I'm doing. And we're going to have moments like that because it's life. Life always has moments like that. Sometimes they're big pivotal ones, but we don't have to have a complicated life. Things will get complicated, but we don't have to hold on to them. And that's a learning. It's a learning thing that we're doing. Words are hard. Okay. Anyways, hope everyone is doing good. And I hope everybody's sleeping well, because I'm not. I'm ready to take on the day, even though everybody is probably either just going to sleep or ready to sleep. I don't know. It's tough being in Alaska when you want to go for a walk and it's like 2:00 in the morning, or you want to go for a drive. Anyways, enough rambling. Hope you guys have a good night, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever it may be. Bye.